Hey, friend, welcome to Shut Down Not Shaken, a special mini series of the At Ease podcast. Today, I am joined by Surae Grantham, a federal employee who is furloughed and potentially at risk of being recalled and going back into the office without pay. I hope you enjoy our conversation. Hey, Surae, how are you?
Hey, boo, I'm doing good, doing good. Good morning.
Good, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me today and to, just talk about your experience as a
Oh,
first time furloughed Fed, right?
second time. Second time.
Second time furloughed Fed. Okay, so you have a little bit more experience with this than I do. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. I just want to know, what has this period been like for you so far, like in terms of your daily routine and your emotional well being?
So it's been honestly, it's varied since it started. So the first couple of days, I honestly said, you know what? The year has been chaotic. I want to take a break. I want to take a little bit of a reset. So I think the furlough started on maybe like a Tuesday or Wednesday. So for that first, like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I just relaxed. I mean, I stayed home. I binge watched shows. I prepared dinners. I just relaxed, took that minute to reset. And then after a couple of days, it was like, all right, I need to be productive. I've been wanting to be home, teleworking, so I can like leverage being in my space, kind of multitasking, doing laundry, et cetera, et cetera. So I was like, you know what, let's be productive around the house since now we have the opportunity to, without any interruption. So that's when I, like, started deep cleaning different rooms. I went into the kids' toy room and I'm like, "This has to go. This has to go." Pulling up their, like, towels, like, cleaning the floors. I mean, like, really deep cleaning different areas. Just kind of, like, getting my mental together as well, like, decluttering, kind of, again, all about, the whole reset. And then I went to homecoming. Right? And then now, just getting back into the game, trying to figure out what's next. I got some news that we may be returning back to the office. So now I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. Do I want to stay in that productive mode, or am I now back in a, you know what, let me rest before I start back getting into the grind. So yeah.
How are you feeling about that, about the possibility of being called back to work without pay? Because that's a little different than being
It
home without pay.
it's a big difference. I'm very anxious about it. And I guess that's because I don't have a lot of information about what that's going to entail. I mean, work is work, right? So doing the work, and if there's a promise or security that I'm going to be repaid for the work, then I really don't have too many problems with working in a current unpaid status right now. However, where I get anxious is, I'm already really budgeting, being very, very strict with how I'm spending money. And going back into the office means additional expenses. Like I don't drink coffee at home, but if I'm in the office, I might want a latte, or um gas, right? Just wear and tear on your car. God forbid I hit a pothole on my way into the city. You know what I mean? So those things are now additional expenses that I'm going to be incurring without any pay. So that's where my anxiety comes in. Trying to be very flexible. We've talked about that in my office many a times, but it's hard. It's really hard. And again, not really just knowing what the next steps are. It's like, okay, you're bringing me back to do what? What am I going to be working on? Um, yeah.
What so this is your second furlough. Is
Mhm.
there anything different? And if so, what? What's
Absolutely.
different between this and your last furlough? And when was your last furlough?
So I don't remember the exact year, but I want to say it had to have been like 2013, 14,
Okay.
sometime around that time. Completely different this time. I would say like the administrative actions are the same as far as sign your document. We'll let you know what's going to happen. Check the news, and then once Congress make a decision, we'll be back. And things will, be back on schedule as normal. However, because it's 2025 and we have so much access to other people's opinions, all of the chaos that's going along with the politics of the shutdown, a lot of fear mongering, a lot of lies and truth that you have to digest and kind of filter through. So it's it's a bit different. I mean, the first time I don't recall the fear about, an extensive period of furlough and then not getting paid. And that could have been very well there, but again, it's totally different than what we experienced the last time. I mean, last time I felt like I was home just twiddling my thumbs, just waiting until we got the
Yeah.
call to come back. But again, you have so much that you have to digest and just being on Instagram and Twitter and then CNN and Fox News
Yeah.
and just walking through the grocery store and hearing other people's opinions. Or if you're on Reddit, you know what I mean? Like there's just so much
Ooh,
exposure.
I tell my staff all the time, stay off of Reddit, get off of there.
Yeah,
um,
it's a lot. It's a
yeah,
lot.
how are you, what boundaries are you putting in place to protect your peace with it being so different and there being so much being inundated with information?
So I'm definitely monitoring and making sure that I'm not doing too much of the social media intake. It can be a lot, or just, trying to manage my algorithm and, skipping through here and there. Um and I take my news in doses as well. And and this political climate is kind of hard trying to navigate like what source of news you can rely on, because again, you don't know what's really true and what's propaganda. um so I've tried to get both sides, but again, in just pieces, because it's just it's just too much. It's just too much. Limiting conversation around it, trying to find my peace and happiness. Again, being productive in a house makes a big difference, resetting and getting my mind together. Of course, listening to my gospel music when I need to. But I honestly have not been. I think I've been on the side of they're gonna figure it out. And I'm not gonna let them scare me into thinking that I'm not going to get my paycheck back. And if I don't, God, we gonna figure it out. We gonna call who we need to call and use the resources that we need to make it through. And minimal impact to my kids' life is possible. So yeah.
And you mentioned having a team.
Yes. So I work with the audit. So I have a team of, and we work with assets. So I have a team of contractors as well as my other counterparts who work on the other asset groups.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so are your contractors working
They're
right
still
now?
working. They're
Oh,
still working.
good. Okay. Well,
Hmm.
that's good for them.
Yes. Yes.
Because I know that contractors do not get back pay. So that I mean,
Yeah.
that is good. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I just wanna shift a little and talk about joy because you mentioned going to homecoming.
Hmm.
Um, how how did that impact you? Or what, that I'm assuming that's one way that you've created joy during this time.
Absolutely.
Are there other ways, or, what did homecoming do for you and your mental state during this time? Because I
So
did a whole
homecoming,
episode about homecoming.
I saw. So homecoming is special. Hampton homecoming is also special to me. I am not a Hampton alum, but I feel it deep in my spirit. I feel all Hampton
You're
vibes.
honorary, like, you've been around so
Exactly.
long.
I tell that to people all the time. Like, don't play with me. Like, I was Hampton, don't play with me. Right. But I mean, going back home, like literally homecoming, like going back home, like seeing everybody's faces. And there's so many connections that I've built at Hampton, not being a student there, through my best friends, or just going to homecomings. And, people become familiar and it's just common ground. Like, I loved it. Like, that was definitely a recharge, right? Not a reset. Like, that was a recharge. It was exactly what I needed to have to come home and say, all right, I can get through the next 6 months that I need to, right?
Yeah.
And even in the sense of like the family, like I think that might have um added to my sense of I got this, and if my household doesn't have it, I know my tribe is going to be able to support me, like, seeing that, right? Like, we have it, like, we've as a human race, as Black people, like, we've been here before, like, and we've relied on each other. Like, you think about Katrina and all these, like, natural disasters or just slavery, like, just literally everything. It was the community being there for each other that got us through, and I don't think that this is an exception to that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, community is so important, and, I think that is the part about homecoming is just remembering that you are connected to all these people, we're not alone, so
Yeah, yeah. And then even like finding joy in the spending time reconnected with my friends who are also furloughed, who in our day-to-day shuffle, we don't have the opportunity to connect for breakfasts, lunches, get some crabs and wine, whatever it is
yeah.
that we need to. Like I was able to do that as well. And that was also fulfilling because you get so just stuck in like the routine, like let's go to work, let's pick up the kids, come home, cook dinner. Now it's time for baths, homework, whatever the case may be. But this was low key like a little bit of a blessing, allowing me to, yeah, get back together with some of my girls and reconnect. It was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done the same. I've reached out
Mhm.
to old coworkers and had
Mhm.
really good conversations, just
Yep.
reconnecting with people, so,
Yep. Yep.
um, what have you discovered about yourself during this time? Your
Oh.
resilience, your creativity, being away from the office?
Um, I think that I found that I am resilient, that I'm going to figure it out. Like there was not really a moment of like me spiraling out of control. Like again, of course I had anxiety. Of course it was the stress of the unknown, but I didn't like spiral and just like, oh my God, my world is ending. We don't know what's going to happen. And a lot of people have done that. And it's really not a healthy response. So I'm happy that I didn't do that. And then that same aspect is like, okay, well, we're going to figure it out, right? We're not going to stress about this moment. We're going to find our peace and then we're going to take the steps to figure it out. Like I know I'm not basic. I know we're not just going to stay in this rut regardless of what the government throws at us. Like again, we're going to figure it out. And I think that me being confident in my abilities going forward to just again be resilient or just to have fortitude, like I'm good. I'm good. My family's good and my tribe is good as well. Like I think about I was thinking about Jamaica, the hurricane that just
Yeah,
occurred, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to do something. Like we got to put care packages together. I need to make a flyer for Instagram posts and do this and the other. And then like 2 seconds later, my thought was, well, shoot, Saray, I'm furloughed. I got this. God got me. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like we got this. Like it's not about just what's going on in this household in this city. You know what I mean? Like we are a community and we're gonna figure it out together. Us in
yeah.
Jamaica. Mhm.
Yeah, I think there's a reminder that it could always be worse,
Yeah.
like, given the circumstances.
Mhm.
Um, I've been getting texts from, friends and family who know close family members who are in Jamaica who are stuck,
Mhm.
and,
Mhm.
I just try to remind myself even though things are not ideal, right? I still have a roof over my head, I get to tuck my kids in at night, like, in this moment, everything is fine.
Right. Right. Right.
How long have you been in government?
Since 2010, so 15 years.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Ooh, you just hit your 8 hours? Did you just hit your
I
8 hours?
did, I did. Stop playing with me. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Man, I
That is
remember.
a big deal for anybody who's listening who doesn't know what that means. When you're in federal service, you earn your time off. You earn a couple of hours every pay period. And when you start, it's
Right.
only 4 hours of pay period. You get to 3 years, it's 6 hours. But when you get to that 15, You
And then
earn a day of pay period, and
I
that is a big deal. That's a
I
milestone.
remember starting, I was like, "I have to wait between 3 and 15 years to get them 8
Yeah,
hours." Like, "Wait a
yeah,
minute."
they make you wait. They make you wait.
They
But
make you
yeah,
wait,
now
but
you
I
about to
got
be have now you're gonna have all the use or lose.
all of it right.
Oh gosh, okay. Um, have you ever worked anywhere else outside of government? Have you ever considered?
Primarily in government. When I graduated from school, I worked at a call center in Norfolk, for probably like a year and a half, like
Okay.
doing finance there. But after that, I got into the Navy. I honestly have not considered recently. Recently, like within the last 2 years, I've considered going out of the government, but it wasn't my initial or a thought for a long time. And I don't know if it's our generation per se, or if it's just what we started with government. Like, you get you a good government job, right? You get that job security. You stay there. You work your way through the ranks. You are loyal to your department. You even have the opportunity of jumping around, so it's not like just being with one company, right? Like, you can go
Mhm.
from multiple different agencies within the government and still gain that tenure throughout your time there. So it's not like just staying in one place for 15 years. But that culture has changed.
Yeah.
It is not the same. So it definitely is something that I've been considering on top of, entrepreneurship or just jumping out there on passion projects that will add some, additional income. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that is the story of millennials, that everything that we were told or, that you were supposed to do is, like, changing,
Yeah.
Get your
Yeah.
degree, get your
Mhm.
job,
Mhm.
especially government was safe and,
Yep, yep, yeah, totally
you
different.
know, it is
Like,
what it is
yeah,
right
yeah.
now. Um, what what message or piece of encouragement would you offer to another Black woman in the federal workforce, um, who's feeling down, or someone who's I mean, if we're being honest, people have been let go,
Mhm,
during the shutdown,
mhm.
before the shutdown. What encouragement would you offer them?
Um, I would well, first, I guess advice would be to find a tribe, a group of like-minded women who either are going through the same thing that you've been through now or have been there, and they can provide you with, like, tools, um, good, practices or resources to get you to where you want to be out of this chapter into the next chapter. And then the next one, it would really just be like, girl, don't be too prideful, don't beat yourself up, and give yourself grace, right? Like, 2025 is chaotic. The last 5, 6 years has been chaotic. Like, we are going through times that we did not foresee, we did not plan for. You have to be motivated to get out of the position that you want to. Like, you can't just stay in a slump. But in that same aspect, you have to understand it's a lot of people out there that's going with you, and we just have to figure it out together. Again, use your resources. Don't be too prideful to call on a friend, a family member for help. Call on a friend or family member for therapy support, or recommendations. Call on a friend or family member to just go over the house and sit down and chill. I mean, having a moment of just hanging with your girls, somebody in your community, it really goes a long way. You can be feeling like the worst person in the world. Black women are just supposed to be strong, and we're supposed to n- supply for our family, like, despite, whether there's a man or somebody else in the house with us as well. But, like, girl, we got this. We are going to make it through. Rely on your family, rely on whatever resources you have, and then just give yourself grace. We're figuring it out together.
Yeah. There's a part of me that feels like they don't even know what they did, like what they've unlocked. Like when Black women have time
That part,
to,
right?
like, sit
Right,
down and
right.
think and strategize, and people are
Yeah.
working, some people are working, and
Mhm,
I don't know if they thought about that. If they thought about who they were letting go, they were furloughing.
mhm, mhm.
Um, but yeah, thank you for that. Anything else you'd like to share?
You are doing God's work, Kristen.
Um,
We really, really appreciate you. This is great. As I talk about community, right? Like somebody who's going through something that we are both going through, who might be on the end of the spectrum that's stressed and really doesn't know. Hopefully, they find some hope and some of the podcasts that you're doing. And if there's some way that I can provide resources to the community who's watching your podcast, definitely let me know. Like, shoot, yeah, the banks, are offering so many, the what is it called? The
the no interest
deferment,
loans. Yeah,
yeah, interest loans,
yeah,
deferment,
yeah.
pushing payments back. I mean, a lot of companies, maybe not all, but a lot of companies are doing things. I mean, I even saw someone post the other day, a young hairstylist who was giving away free hairstyles yesterday to all furloughed employees. I mean, you sit in the house and we home and looking a little crazy, like girls feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what you need to do to feel good. Again, search for the resources, and I think you're a step in that direction as well. So thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you, Saray. I really appreciate you taking some
You're welcome.
time
Welcome.
to share about your experience. I hope no matter what happens, whether you get called back in the office or not, that it's all going to work out
Yeah.
just the way that it's supposed to.
I appreciate
So,
it. Thank
and
you, thank
hopefully, I'll see you at Zumba tomorrow.
you. Yeah, out there.
All right. Let me stop.
Have a good one, baby.